I struggled with the call to ministry because I never was a good student in high school. All I cared about was partying and playing sports. And it wasn't until I came to know Christ at the end of my freshman year that I really seriously began to even take my studies seriously and read on my own, study on my own. I don't see how a pastor can really be a successful minister without a godly wife. And Dixie has been like a pastor to the women of the church and the young ladies in the church. From the very beginning, she really took part in youth ministry with me and mission trips, and I can't imagine doing ministry without her. When she was in the second grade, her teacher asked the class, "What would you like to be when you grow up?"
And I remember in the second grade, I wrote an essay of what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I wrote that I wanted to be a pastor's wife.
And she had told me that when we got married, and I was a baseball player with the Cardinals at the time. I said, "Well, you blew that." Yeah. But actually, the Lord knew.
Paul came home from work, and he told me that he wanted to accept the call to our church here and as the senior minister. And I realized that I was going to be a pastor's wife, and I was very excited, but I was terrified. And I went in the room and I closed the door and I just burst into tears and said, "God, I changed my mind."
Well, there are a lot of challenges, but my favorite part of ministry here was getting our congregation excited about evangelism and missions.
And the thing that is very precious about this community is that they have loved us no matter what. They have been a very forgiving and accepting community, and they have really made this very precious for me and for my 4 sons and their families. I remember the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and the 4th figure in the fire was Jesus, and he walked with them. And when they came out of the fire, they didn't smell like smoke. And I think that's one of the life verses of Paul and me. We've walked through the fire of difficulties, but Jesus always walked with us. And when we came out, we didn't smell like smoke.
They, from day one, loved me and Dixie and my 4 boys like they love their own families. And they have been so supportive through the good, the bad, and the ugly that we faced in 36 years. Any pastor would be blessed to be in my shoes.